Hey, what is going on, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Zaku News. Today is April 20th. Today for the special episode of Zaku News. And once again, this week there's not really a whole lot to talk about. Like in our last episode, we didn't really have much new. And as I mentioned in that episode as well, I think that's pretty much basically down to two factors. The first factor obviously being the whole virus situation that the world is facing. I can only assume is probably also affecting Bandai to some degree as well, although I'm not sure, maybe not really how much, at least in terms of them announcing new kits and things, but I would assume it is affecting them in some way, so maybe that's slowing them down a little bit. And the other reason why we're not really having a whole lot of news coming out at this particular time is because at the beginning of May is when typically the Shizuoka Hobby Show is, so that's probably around the time when we'll see more stuff getting announced by Bandai, the things that they were planning to show off at Shizuoka Hobby Show, which is now canceled. But anyway, those announcements are probably still due to come out around the same time. So next episode, we should hopefully have a lot more new exciting stuff to talk about for stuff that'll be coming out probably around like the end of summer and into the beginning of fall. But for now, just a couple things really, and it's mostly a lot of Gundam Base exclusive stuff and a couple of P-Bandai things, and that's pretty much it for this month. So let's get into it here with some new Gundam Base limited items. So these are going to be new things that are going to be available through the Gundam Base in Tokyo and other Gundam Base locations around Japan and Korea. So these are, first off, the RG00 Quanta Full Saber Clear Color version, coming out for 3,400 yen. So that's pretty cool looking. I think the 00 kits do look especially cool in clear color just because of the design and just the nature of them. I think they do look pretty nice in clear color. So that one's coming out, does look pretty cool. And then also the HGUC Narrative Gundam C-Packs Titanium Finish coming out for 5,600 yen. So because the titanium finish kit's going to be much more expensive, but this kit as well I think does look really good in titanium finish just because the Psycho Frame parts, especially having that metallic titanium finish on them, does look pretty cool. That's how a lot of people end up painting the kit, so it kind of really saves you the trouble of painting those. As for like the titanium finish on like the white and off-white parts, if you're so much into that, I don't know, people could go either way, but at least having the Psycho Frame parts already painted like that for you is a kind of a cool look. So that looks pretty interesting. Then there's also going to be the PG ARC-78-2 Gundam Titanium Finish coming out for 25,000 yen for this. This one I'm a little bit... wasn't this already a thing before? I feel like there was already a titanium finish perfect grade Gundam, but I don't know maybe really what's different about this. This is the Gundam Base version, exclusive version of that. I don't know. But that'll be out as well, and it's of course just the PG Granddaddy Gundam. Sort of maybe the last new release of that kit before we get the perfect grade Unleashed version out later around the end of the year, I suppose. And then one other thing here too, which does look pretty interesting, is the MS General Purpose Hanger set for 2,600 yen for this. So I saw people's immediate reaction, a lot of people's reaction online was that it's pretty expensive for what it is, 2,600 yen for this, and then that's if you can get it on site. Of course, if you're buying it like in America, and you have to get it through a proxy seller or something, it's going to be costing even more. And for what it is, yeah, that is kind of expensive because it is a pretty bare bones set. That said, it does look pretty cool. It's just a set of parts, and some people were saying that this is the parts that were included with the perfect grade GP01. I haven't looked at it in too much detail to see if this is exactly the same parts as what's included with the perfect grade GP01. It does look very similar, of course, to the hanger parts that are included with that, especially in the 160 scale building of that. You can build this up. You can build the setup in a few different ways to be made for 144, 100, or 160 scale. So I think the smaller versions of this in 144 and 100 scale don't look that great, and there are other better options, I think. But for 160 scale, there's not a whole lot of options out there, and I think building this up to be used with a perfect grade kit does look pretty cool. And like if I were to get this set, that's definitely what I would use it for, is some perfect grade, because yeah, for 100 and 144 scale, there's other sets that I think look better. But in 160 scale, it looks pretty cool to have like the weapons containers and stuff like that alongside of it and everything as well. So it looks cool. Then there's also going to be some new items coming on to the Gundam Base online shop. So this is sort of like P-Bandai online exclusive stuff, but it's Gundam Base online exclusive stuff. So yeah, again, the point of this, same with like when they make P-Bandai kits available, or when they take Gundam Base limited kits and then put them on the P-Bandai shop, the point is just to make these more accessible for people, mostly in Japan, of course, who don't live near a Gundam Base, who aren't able to go to the Gundam Base, but they want to get those limited items. They can at least order them through the online shop. And so basically, here's what we have for these kits, new items to the online base store. These aren't new items though, these have already been existing in the Gundam Base previously. So the Perfect Grade Gundam Astray Red Frame Metallic Gloss Injection for 18,000 yen for this. Just kind of an interesting look for the Perfect Grade Red Frame Astray. It's just got that gloss injection, and especially the white is kind of like slightly like rosy, kind of tinted clear, not clear, but like a pearly kind of white. Looks interesting there. Also, the HGUC Unicorn Gundam Luminous Body for 3,000 yen. Different version of the HGUC Unicorn version. Unicorn in Destroy mode. You can build this up as just the regular Destroy mode with just the regular Psycho Frame parts, or you can build it as with all of the shard luminous body parts like the Psycho Shard, but it's different. The Psycho Shard was with the Neo Zeon. Anyway, but I did a review of this kit a while back when it first came out. If you're interested, you can check that out. But it's a really cool kit, and it does also include a base, and it also includes some new hand parts for it to do the pose here. It's kind of crud. I can't really spread my arms in here, but yeah. Next, also, there's a HG Build Fighter Super Fumina Gundam Base Tokyo image colors for 1,800 yen. I saw this online. It was the post I saw about this said 1,800 yen, but I wonder if that's correct because pretty much all the Fumina kits and all these similar kits were all pretty much standardly priced at 2,400 yen. So for 1,800 yen, I wonder if that's correct. I think this is probably actually 2,400 yen, but maybe I'm wrong. But I think probably the post was wrong on this. But yeah, it's just got the Super Fumina with the baseball cap, which is a new part for this kit. And it's just in different colors. And honestly, among the different Super Fumina kits, this one is one of the better looking ones in my opinion. Just because of the styling and the coloring of it, and the baseball cap does look cool. So there's that, and then there's also the Master Grade Sazui Verka Special Coating version for 18,000 yen. Again, very expensive kit. This one also I reviewed. If you're interested in the kit, you can check out my review of that if you missed it. With it being a titanium finish kit, or a special coating version of the kit, which is kind of like the same thing as titanium finish, but this one, yeah, it did have some visible nub marks on it, but overall it did look very good. I mean, and the coating wasn't as good as like a perfectly good laying down of the coating on this. There was some inconsistency of it, so I mean, it's not perfect, but it does look really cool when it's all built up. I mean, it's a fantastic looking kit either way, so that's pretty cool. Also, the RG Unicorn Gundam Destroy Mode lighting model for 10,000 yen. This one again is just the fixed pose kind of RG version of the Unicorn. It's the RG Unicorn, but it's fixed pose, and you can't transform it into Unicorn mode. It's just in Destroy mode, but it has all the lights included in that. And so that one is going to be coming out to the Gundam Base online shop as well. You can change the colors of the lighting and everything in that too, which is pretty cool. And then the last thing here is the RG Wing Gundam Zero Custom EW clear color version of that for 2,700 yen. So it is a clear color version of the RG Wing Zero Custom. So that one does also honestly not look that good in my opinion, but that's just my opinion. I do like the Wing Zero Custom, but not super fan of clear colors and a lot of things. Sometimes they look good, sometimes not, but this one at least, you know, I think I can see how this kit in clear colors could definitely be appealing to some Wing Zero fans. It does look interesting, not really for me, but it looks cool. Alright, and then to some actual new stuff, or somewhat new stuff actually, at least here. Half new P-Bandai items for the last couple things here. The P-Bandai HGUC Rick Diaz Quattro Vagina Custom is coming out in August for 1,900 yen. Now you may look at this and think, what is different about that? Because I'm pretty sure that kit already exists, and sort of, yeah. But basically what they did was they took the new parts that they made for the recently released P-Bandai Build Gamma, and that was basically kind of a variant of the HGUC Rick Diaz. But they made a lot of new parts for new joints for that, like new knee joints, elbow joints, and things like that to make it have much better articulation and much better build than the original old HGUC kit. So and then they took those and then made just kind of a regular version of it, or just the red version of the Rick Diaz, which does already exist in HGUC, so it's basically sort of just like a 1.5 version of that kit. Now, they've labeled it as the Quattro Vagina Custom version, but I'm not sure if this actually has any design differences from the old red version of the HGUC kit. I believe for like the Quattro Vagina version and just the regular mass production version of the red Rick Diaz, there are a couple of very slight differences. I think like in the thrusters on the back skirt, and maybe that may be all. I don't know if there's anything too much else different about it. They're very, very slightly different. And I believe with the old HGUC kit, it basically does build it as the Quattro Regina version. But again, I could be wrong about that, but the difference is very slight between the two anyway. So basically, if you've always wanted an HGUC or 144 scale Rick DS, and the old one was just kind of not really very appealing to you just because it's pretty dated, then I would go for this one if you can. It's going to be more expensive being a P-Bandai kit, but it's got all the new engineered parts in there, which do look really nice. So this is probably going to be the nicest version of a HGUC Rick DS that you're going to get. I kind of doubt that after this they're going to make a full-on kind of Revive or 2.0 sort of version of this at this point now after releasing this kit. So this is the one I would go for if I were you, if that's what you wanted. And also, just on a side note, the P-Bandai HGUC Zeta Gundam version UC0088 is also being reissued. That was a P-Bandai kit that came out maybe about a year or maybe longer ago. But anyway, that's being reissued along with this kit. And that one's a 2,200 yen for that. That one as well. It's just basically the Revive HGUC Zeta Gundam with a handful of different parts to make it the 0088 version of that, which is slightly different. So that one does look pretty cool. Great kit too, the HGUC Zeta Gundam. A very highly recommended kit if you're a fan of the Zeta Gundam. So. And then the last thing here is the P-Bandai HG Future Century Death Beast coming out in July for 2,300 yen. So we all kind of expected this to come, and it's actually honestly coming out a little bit sooner than I was expecting. I was expecting to probably have to wait a little bit longer before Bandai would ever actually release this kit, but they're releasing it pretty quickly here, due to be out in July. Just the four-legged version of the Death Army, and we already saw like the P-Bandai, or not the P-Bandai, but the HG Build Fighters version of this sort of, or Build Divers Re-Rise version of this, I should say, sorry. And so we were wondering, okay, when are we going to get the actual like regular original Death Beast? And so here it is. And basically it's just the four-legged version. Also, new parts included with this are new parts for the feet, for when it's like flying and the feet are all pointed down, then it's got new feet parts for that. And it also has the new rifle included with that one as well. So it's got a couple of new parts in there aside from just being the four-legged version of the Death Army. So it does also look pretty cool. So another one of those that you would probably want to get more than one of if you are planning on like building this as like a set kind of thing. So 2,300 yen for that. Not that cheap, and especially again if you're living outside of Japan or a place where you can get P-Bandai stuff at list price, it's going to be costing you quite a bit. But for fans of the Death Army, fans of the G Gundam series, it does look like a pretty nice one to add to the collection for sure. So that is it for the news for this week. Next episode will be at the beginning of May, and like I said, hopefully we'll have a whole bunch of new stuff to talk to you guys about at that time, after what would have been the Shizuoka Hobby Show. Hopefully we'll have a lot of new stuff, and so look forward to that. Hopefully we'll see some new images of the new Perfect Grade Unleashed. That'll be cool. Hopefully we'll have a lot more to talk about with that kit. And until then, guys, thanks so much for watching. Check out the link down below to USA Gundam Store. Shop online there. You can use my coupon code ZakuAurelius10, save 10% off everything there on the site. And check out my channel. Always got new reviews and live builds and stuff going on over there on my channel, of course, as well. So thanks for watching, guys. See you next time. Bye-bye.